A future trader who has bought futures and thus is under contracts to take delivery is said to be?
Exactly. Long makes sense and it is right choice.
The resources that a farmer cannot control, which are used in the production process, are called.
You chose fixed resources. And it is correct.
The spread between local cash price and price of the near-term futures contract is called.
On-track basis is the correct answer.
Which of the following has no direct impact on the production costs of a certain product?
Excellent choice. Consumer demand is the right answer. Fertilizer capital farming, tools labor, pesticide, herbicide, soil. These are examples of dash.
Correct response. Input is the most accurate answer.
A statement showing receipts, expenses, and net returns on a farm for a year is called.
Right again. Income statement is a valid answer. Which of these is a factor that affect decision-making in the agriculture environment? Nicely done. Climate is a solid answer. Deciding whether to specialize in beef or dairy production is what type of decision? Right choice. Strategic is the best answer. Which of the following usually is not a means of reducing financial risk on a farm? Great thinking. Specialization is the right choice. Which is the first level of government that can govern how your land is used? Good job. Your answer, township, works well here. Deciding whether to take in a partner in the business is what type decision? Well picked. Strategic is the correct answer. The farm from which 50% or more income is derived from a single enterprise. Nice selection. Specialized farming is the correct and valid answer. Deciding to permanently follow agroecological farming practices or not. Clear logic. Your choice, strategic, is sound and 100% true. One of the beat measures of financial progress over a period of years is? Correct. Change in net worth is the right answer. Where a hillside has been cut into steps so it can be farmed is called? Well done. Terracing is the right choice. The amount of output produced per unit of input at each input level. Perfect. Average product is the correct choice. The type of business that would distribute patronage refunds is a? Solid response. Cooperative is a valid choice. Deciding whether to plant corn today or wait until next season. Good thinking. Tactical is the right answer. Deciding whether a field is too wet is what type of decision? Smart pick. Tactical is the correct choice. The new crop futures month for soybeans is considered to be? Smart move. November is an accurate answer. Deciding to have an organic farm or a conventional farm. Bravo! Strategic is the answer. Which of the following is considered to be a fixed cost? Excellent. Depreciation on machinery is a brilliant choice. Short-run decisions made after identifying a problem. You're right. Tactical is the correct answer. The difference between net worth and total assets is? Great job. Total liabilities is the accurate answer.
Which stage is rational stage in production function? Well reasoned. Stage 2 is the correct choice. Deciding on the overall goal of the farm business. Strong choice. Strategic is the right answer. Deciding to raise livestock with crops or not? You got it. Your choice strategic is right. An entry on the right-handed side of a ledger. Nice work. You chose credit and it is correct. Incorporation a farm enables the business to. Sharp thinking. Be more permanent is the right choice. Functions of management usually begin with. Valid point. Planning is true. Deciding to sell 5 pigs today to get cash. Smart pick. Tactical is the correct choice. Any item of value, tangible or financial. Sharp thinking. Asset is the right choice. Cash value from your sales or services. Smart move. Revenue is an accurate answer. How can you decrease the fetch of a soil? Clear logic. Your choice, all of the above, is sound and 100% true. Limited liability is an advantage of. You're right. Corporation is the correct answer. A debt or other financial obligation. Excellent. Liability is a brilliant choice. In which stage MEMP is negative? Nice work. You chose stage 3 and it is correct. Farm management is dash study. Right again. Intra is a valid answer. An expense made in advance. Well picked. Prepaid expense is the correct answer. Net worth is a measure of. Excellent choice. Financial position is the right answer. Assets minus liabilities. Solid response. Owner equity is a valid choice. Revenue minus expense. Exactly. Net profit makes sense, and it is right choice. Cost of production. You chose expense, and it is correct. Variable resource. On track. Both B and C is the correct answer. Fixed resource. Nice selection. Land is the correct and valid answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Correct response. Contact Narayan Chengda is the most accurate answer.